What's up traders, Cam Hawkins here from Trading Nut. Welcome to this short little video where I'm going to break down for you a full strategy that I created as part of my Robot Builders Club and released to my members there this month of November 2021. Now, the strategy created this test in the GBP USD pair over 6 years, so it's got some validity. It does work on some pairs. I'm going to show you a couple of other pairs at the end of the video. We're going to run a demo test across the month of November that you can follow over there on tradingnut.com. And if you do want to get access to it, you have to join Robot Builders Club in the month of November. You actually get the source code to this, so you can build upon this robot. You can create whatever you want from it, and it is one of these ones which has quite a good base. Now, it's based all on market structure. I'm going to show you how I automated market structure in a second and the strategy that sits behind it. So let's jump in a price chart and check it out. Right guys, before we jump into the strategy and also the things you can see here on the chart and what they mean and how they work, let's quickly go over market structure for anyone that's not familiar with it. It's pretty simple. You've got a point A to a point B. So this is a low, this is a high, and now we've got a higher low, and we've got a lower high, okay? Then you can either come down here and pick those 2 points if you want, or you can come down here and pick this point here, and then you could pick that and go back down there and go back up, or you could just go straight up here. So there's a couple of little discrepancies here that you need to try and overcome when you're building a robot. So we've got here our high, it's probably a higher high actually, and this is our higher low, and then we've got a lower high, and then we've got, well, in fact, it's a high. It is a lower high, but it's just a high. And now we've got a lower low. Okay, so we've got a low, we broke it, we now got a lower low. And now we've got another higher high, and we've got a higher low. And a higher high again, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's what we're sort of trying to get out of this robot. But as I mentioned, the discrepancies of which points do you pick, which ones do you ignore, that's what I had to overcome here in this particular robot build. And this is what I did to overcome it. So the first thing I did was I put in a moving average to help us work out when a move may start and may finish. Now, we're not going to get every single higher high and lower low and that sort of thing, because when it gets back to the moving average, we're sort of ignoring what goes on and considering that a point of interest that we may want to use. Okay, so this is how it works. We cross over the moving average. At that point, we go, great, we're now looking to find, can we find a high point? Okay, so we're going to ignore that one for now, but we're just going to go through this process. Now, we're waiting for the candle low to be above the moving average by a certain distance. Now, you can control that in the robot that I've built. And then we're sort of waiting for it. We're just waiting for it to come back and hit that moving average. As soon as it hits that moving average, we know we've got a high. We go back and have a look from when it crossed to when it hit, and we find our high point, and we mark it off here with a little line. So that's how I find a high. Now, how do we find a higher high? Now, once again, we're using the moving average again. So we touched the moving average here. We didn't close below it. So we're looking for another higher high. So we are now waiting for it to clear the moving average by a few pips, which it does here. And then we're waiting for it to come all the way back down and tap that moving average again, at which point we lock in another high point. So we've got a high and we've got a higher high, and I'm recording those in my robot to then try and take a trade. So these arrows here signify when things happen and when things don't. So when it crosses back over, we can start looking for selling bearish market structure is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so now we've got our low point, and we've actually got a higher low here. So you can, the way I've built this is you can work with the higher highs and the higher lows, or the low and the higher low, or the high and the lower high. So there's all these little little lines you can work with in this robot. You get the source code, as I mentioned, in my robot lab when you join my Robot Builders Club, so you can actually use this to come up with whatever strategy you want, because all this information is there, it's already built, and you just need to sort of come up with a strategy that you think may work. Now, the strategy I came up with today, which I'll walk through now, is fairly, I've called it fake structure because it really works quite well on fake outs of structure. So usually you get a higher high and you think, okay, great, we're in a bullish move, we're going to go up. So what I've done is taken the opposite. In fact, I've said if we get a higher high, I'm going to go short. If we get a lower low, I'm going to go long. Now, how does this work? let's have a look here. I'll zoom in out a bit. So you can see here there's a low, and we get a lower low at that point. So this is, I'll just draw them from where they're coming from. So we've got that low point there, we've got a lower low. Now we're going to go, we're faking it. Basically we're saying this is a fake out, right? So let's go against the grain. And people who think we're going on a downtrend, you're going to get stopped out up here somewhere. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually take the opposite trade. You can see here we take that trade and we get out here. Now, how do we do things here so that we're not, so we've got a bit of control over this. So I'm just going to zoom in a bit on this point and tell you what we're doing. So why do we get in at this particular point here? So we're looking for, after we've got that confirmation of a second point lower. So we've got the low, we got the lower low, which gets confirmed at the touch of that moving average. So we, at the end of this candle, we go, great, we've touched the moving average. We can now confirm this is a low. What we're going to wait for is the next bullish candle, which is the current candle, and we're going to go long. So if this was a bearish candle, we'd be getting in at the top here. So we're waiting for the next bullish candle to go long. Now, the stop is going to be at the further low. So it's at the lowest low in this case. So that's what we know. We know this is our risk, right? So we're going to work out from our risk what profit target we're going to take. Now, I haven't done any scale. I tried to do a bit of scaling out and it didn't work. Better to take a fixed profit target and let it run is what I found. So this one here is about almost 2 to 1. So that's 33 and this is 64. So it's almost 2 to 1 profit target. Okay, so that's the buy trade, and the sell trade. This one gets stopped out. We'll take a winner. So you can see here we've got the opposite. We've got the high, and then we've got the higher high. We take the opposite after the first bearish candle, and this one doesn't work out. The next two do. We've got one here, so we've got the high, so we're still using that old high, and we've got the higher high. First bearish candle touches a moving average, ironically, and we get the entry here, and it doesn't actually come back and take that high out. So yeah, you do get a bit of drawdown here, but you do actually get another trade opportunity. So we now get a high and another higher high here with these two levels. First bearish candle to cross below, to touch the moving average, it actually closes below it. We put our stop here at the higher high, and then we get out at a certain set distance from that moving average. Sorry, from that based on our risk to reward. So that's it. It's pretty simple. Is there anything else with it? I think there may be a couple of other things. Let's just have a look here. So yeah, you can obviously control the buffer in terms of how many pips above the moving average you want the second sort of confirmation candle to clear by. Also, the other thing is the maximum number of pips your stop loss can be. So obviously we've got no real way to work out automatically what the size of the stop loss is going to be from a pip point of view, but maybe you want to ignore things that are just humongous, like 100 plus pips. This one's saying if it's over 100 pips, we're not going to take the trade. Okay, so I think all of these, they're definitely under 100 pips. So you can see this one here will be getting pretty close at 93 pips, but we do take the trade because it does have enough wiggle room. Now, I've only tested on the 1 hour chart. I know it does work. I did a little bit of testing on the 4 hour. I haven't got any higher than that. So it will work on 4 hour. Got some good results out of the 1 hour. So let's jump in and have a look at the last couple of results and show you how this thing can work. So this is gold, 6-year test, and this is NZD USD. All right, guys, so there we have it. That is my fake structure bot. Now, if you guys want to get a copy of this, then it is actually over there on my Robot Builders Club for this month of November 2021. You can get access to it. I'm going to run a test on a demo account as well. You can see it on the link below the video. So if you do want to monitor it over the course of the next month, then I'll be able to show you some results, or the results will feed through from that demo test. Also, do remember, you do get the source code. I'm going to show you here some of it anyway. You do get the source code for this, which means you can import the actual robot into your own FX Dreamer account. Now, this is what I teach you in my Robot Builders Club. I teach you how to build trading robots with FX Dreamer, and basically you can build fully automated, semi-automated, whatever you want for MetaTrader 4 or 5 platforms. By the end of doing the course, you basically come out and you are confidently building robots. I've got live Q&A calls to support you. We've got a Telegram chat that supports you if you get stuck. So the goal is to get you the robot that you want out of the club. So guys, that's available this November. If you want to get the fake structure bot, click the link below, hit me up on email, let me know you want to come on board, and I'll see if there's a spot for you. The doors are going to be closing on the Robot Builders Club soon, so now is the time to come on board. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. Do remember, hit subscribe, hit like, click on the notifications bell, click all, and we'll see you in the next episode of Trading Nut.